Kia Timmer will serve it. 6-2 outside. Out to Rubin. Good dig by Cammy Miner there in the backcourt. Rubin on the sharp angle finishes it off. And that goes back to that really nice defensive play there by Cammy Miner in the right spot. For the ball roll onto the court. Isanovich with a big swing on the left side for Washington State. A player that Stanford is familiar with, Isanovich, a transfer from Arizona State. A 6'1" graduate from Bosnia, averaging just under 4 kills per set. On the slide, Sammy Francis with the kill. Francis goes cross court that time. Sammy Francis did not play when these two teams met in Pullman. He was out at that point. A new look for Stanford that they can throw at Washington State with Francis as a service error is sent over. Argentina will serve it. The senior from Sonora, Mexico. He's actually had some time with the senior Mexican national team and has captained them on the court as their quarterback. With 5 all here in the early goings, and to no one's surprise, when these two teams met up back in October, the opening frame went 31-29. Second set was 29-27 as well, so these two teams have a hard time separating from one another, and as you can see why, very similar offensively. And there is Isanovich again going down the line. This is Shea Wood right now along the net for Washington State. Nice dig by Basham. Sets up an opportunity, and Timmer finishes off the point for the Cougars. Timmer now with her second kill on 3 swings, and Isanovich to serve it. Out to Katie Baird, and she is sent back by Rudright and Katie Ryan on the outside. Katie Ryan was a big focal point of the Cougar offense when these two teams met earlier this season. She had 14 kills in that matchup. Picks up a nice block there. Back row swing from Kip. Doug. Out to Timmer. And that point's going to Washington State. So after Stanford comes off of its most disappointing loss of the season, they find themselves down 4 here to the visiting Washington State Cougars. Serve handled well. Basham could not quite track it down. Very nice effort from the 5th-year senior to get after it. Was just out of play. And Cammy Miner will serve. Cammy leads the nation in assists per set. Widely regarded as one of the best setters in all of the country. And for good reason, an ace serve from number 2. Cammy, the 6-foot junior from Redondo Beach. There's over another tough serve. That one handled well by the Cougars. Look at the effort from Rubin. Out to Baird. And it's sent back by Katie Ryan and Shea Rubright. So Shea Rubright seeing some action here early and defensively is already making her presence known. Cheating right over the top, a little trickery from the middle. Notices the blocker goes up a little early, leaves that entire line open and just trickles it right over her fingertips for the point. Good deep serve by Katie Baird. Headed out to Timmer, blocked back. Cougars can reset it. And there is Katie Ryan, the southpaw, on the right side to finish it off. The 6'5" opposite will head to the bench. And Julia Norville will come on, the defensive specialist. Rubin fires one down the line, but it's out. Point Cougars. Early on, Stanford offense seems a little discombobulated. Washington State is hitting 600. Each team has 6 kills, but the Cardinal have 4 hitting errors. And it'll be out of system here. And it doesn't matter. Elia Rubin with the kill. What a nice set that time from Cammy Minor. Had to go a real long ways to track that one down. There's Timmer coming into the net. That's to be picked up by Minor. Out to Rubin, will reset it. Nice touch there by Isanovich. And it falls out, point to the Cougars. Timmer leading the way with 3 kills. She'll serve it. Handled by Francis, and Minor goes over on the second contact. Not often you'll see a middle blocker receive the serve. And we'll step aside here on Pac-12 Insider. Washington State with a 3-point lead, 13-10 in second. And we're back here live on Pac-12 Insider. Jimmy Garcia here live from Naples Pavilion. Point to the Cougars. The score changes. It's 14 serving 9 out of the break. A 5-point lead for the Cougars. Registered as an attacking error on Cammy Minor. Nice save by Cammy. Kept alive. Ashton will set Isanovich, and Minor makes another nice play. Headed out to Kip on the right side, dug by Pia Timmer. Isanovich with a swing. Baird is there. Big point. Cardinal will reset it. Try the right side. And the Cougars convert the long rally. Iman Isanovich with a big swing on the outside to convert the long rally. Our best rally to this point. It leads to a 6-point Cougar lead. Timmer serving with the momentum. And that one is sent back on the outside as Ungen, Yellahasheva come together for the Cougar block. And it is 16 serving 9. And we talked in the early goings about these two teams playing so close in that first matchup. And right now it's been all Cougars in set number 1 of matchup number 2. And there is Sammy Francis in the middle. Quick comeback for the card. And they strike up the gut. One-on-one Francis against Yellahasheva. And Francis gets the better of the All-American that time. Second service error for Stanford. That was a problem when these two teams met up in October. Stanford had 19 service errors in that 4-set win, compared to Washington State's only 2 service errors in that one. So definitely an area to keep an eye on as this match progresses. How does Stanford serving affect its overall game today? Led by Norville to the middle. Kept alive by the Cougars. Minor out to Rubin, looking for the corner and finds it. Tough serve. Timmer gets it back and finishes. Nice swing out of the backcourt there for Thea Timmer. Picks up kill number 4. Timmer's averaging 3.3 kills per set. He's already over that here in set 1. And a Pringle on to serve. .510 sophomore. There's Rubright on the slide, and Shea Rubright with the kill. So Shea Rubright gets the start over Radakovich tonight. Radakovich is suited up, but not playing. And Rubright got the start tonight. It's only the 9th set this season that Shea Rubright has seen. Big swing from Kip out of the backcourt. And when you find yourself down, you often look to your best player, and Kip provides a spark of offense there for Stanford. Danny Minor to serve it. There's Ryan, heavy swing from Katie Ryan, and the kill for Washington State. Right now, the Cougar offense is cooking. They're hitting .550 with no hitting errors to go along with 3 team blocks as well. Firing on all cylinders here in the early goings. And it's something that Washington State has done all season. This team has played better at times on the road even than at home. As Katie Baird picks up the quick side out for Stanford. Washington State has had a lot of success away from Pullman this season. This is a team that has won on the road at number 6 Oregon, at number 6 Texas at the time to open this season. This is a team that trailed Texas by a set and by 9 points deep into set 2 and came back to win in 4. So this team is battle tested and can win on the road. This is
Ivanovic with the kill off the block once again. We have to give credit to the Wazoo attack. Both Hasanovic and Timmer, 4 kills on 7 attacks. They're just doing everything right now. Julia Nerval serving. Returned by Baird. The quick set to Vicini is blocked, but a great dig there by Ruben and a swing from Kip. Someone hit the net. Who was it? It was Washington State, point Cardinal.
Yeah, and you're not able to keep that ball alive if Elena Ogilvy doesn't make that play, and you keep yourself in it. And this time Wazoo makes a mistake. Stanford able to get the point.
Ogilvy serving. That was Norville on the return. The cross-court set by Ung is a set to Timmer, who's blocked, but out of bounds.
Yeah, that's been the story of this first set. The Stanford block, either blocking it out of bounds or, Wazoo nicely tooling the block on their attacks. Nonetheless, Stanford defense needs to be better.
Timmer, a little float serve. That was interesting. The set to Minor, a great job there. It goes to Ruben. Didn't touch any hands. It was well out.
Yeah, Ruben gets a nice set from Cami Minor, just unable to keep the ball in bounds, hits it too long.
Just like that, 23-15 to the Cougars. This serve, a really good one, returned by Baird. Now the swing from Ruben is blocked, and she puts it back up. Minor gets another set. That's Kip, back corner, handled by Timmer. Basham gets into it, and just a free ball over by Yeloshova. Now Minor, back to Kip, another strong swing, and Basham can't get to that one, point Cardinal.
Yeah, there you go. And you got to give credit to this Wazoo defense. They've been excellent so far in this first set. Don't get the point there, but keep themselves alive on multiple opportunities. That's how they've been able to extend this lead. They're limiting mistakes and keeping the ball alive.
And Kip with the serve, returned by Timmer. Now Ung goes back to Yeloshova, block, and in on the line. They finally get one.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Stanford. Even if you don't win this set, you want some momentum going into the second set. And Stanford, 2 straight points. That'll get you fired up.
And this is who you want serving if you want to make a run. It's Kendall Kip, returned by Timmer. Now the bump set from goes to Isanovic off of hands and handled by Ogilvy. Minor back to Francis off of the block, and they can't handle it. That's Wazoo, point Cardinal.
A 3-0 run here for the Cardinal. Exactly what they need. They cut it to 5. Wazoo decides to take time out, and Kevin Hambley visibly pleased with what his squad has done in this past stretch. They just need at this point, you can't have any mistakes if you're Stanford, if you want to stay in this set. But certainly an encouraging sign going into set 2 to see what the Stanford offense can really look like and how they can be clicking if they limit mistakes.
Well, you're absolutely right. You brought up a good point, Ronnie. This is a 5-set game, right? Even if this set ends up being a lost cause, ending it on a strong note like they are right now is exactly what they need to give them the confidence going into the rest of the match. They've already played Wazoo this year. They beat them in 4 in Pullman. So certainly the Cardinal have the tools to get it done, but they need to start connecting a little bit more. And well, a 3-0 run is the first step to that.
Definitely.
Let's take a quick look at the stats here in the first set. Kip leads the way for the Cardinal, 4 kills on 11 attacks. Ruben follows shortly, 3 kills on 11 attacks. And Vicini, 3 kills on 4 attacks, matched by Sammy Francis. The absent name there, Katie Baird, not having the best first set. 1 kill, 2 errors on 4 attacks. She's hitting -250. The Washington State side of the box score looks perfect. 5 kills on 8 attacks for Timmer. Isanovic has 4 kills on 8 attacks, 2 kills on 3 attacks. Most notably, only 1 error for the entire Washington State team. They're playing near perfect volleyball.
Yeah, exciting out at 82.5% as well, so give credit to that defense.
Serve from Kip, returned by Timmer. To Isanovic off the block. Point Cougars.
Yeah, that sets up set point for Wazoo. And that's exactly what they've been able to do all along this first set. Able to tool the block nicely. That time, same deal. Isanovich setting up set point, excuse me.
Yelashova serving for the set. Return the set from Minor to Kip, a strong attack, and the ball gets sent back over. Now Minor once again to Francis, and she matched that energy from Kip. Kills Sammy Francis.
Yeah, really strong ball there from Sammy Francis. She's, been a bright spot on a rather unproductive Stanford offense so far. 4 of 5, hitting 800, Sammy Francis. It's good to have her going.
Rubin serving. This serve returned by Timmer. Not a great return, and the block almost gets to it. Handled by Ogilvy. Minor. Back row attack to Kip off of hands, and Basham can't get to that one either.
Yeah, Stanford cuts it to 4, but is this too little too late? That's the question they need to be asking themselves. Nonetheless, a good sign for Stanford's offense, able to get something going out of the timeout as well.
Well, they have all the momentum right now. Elia Rubin serving once again. This serve returned by Timmer. The set goes to Isanovich, blocked. 1-2, it's a double hit. Point Cardinal.
And a 3-0 run there after the Wazoo point. So Stanford goes 3-0 run, gives up a point, and another 3-0 run. This one looked over. It was 23-15, but Stanford very much still in this set now.
That time Rube Wright with the mistake. Now Rubin. The set. Serve, a really good one. Isanovich has to run to bump set it. Swing from Isanovich. Oh, and that one, kill point set for the Cougars, but that's an inspiring way to end the set if you're the Cardinal.
Yeah, you got to be happy with the way you ended that set. Isanovich, just a great swing there. Stanford caught them out of system on that serve as well, and so got to give credit to the Cougars. They were just the better attacking team early on, and Stanford, a late set push, but just not enough.
Welcome back to Maples Pavilion, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started, a quick reminder, you're listening to KZSU 90.1 FM. My name is Ferris Badair. With me today, I have Ronnie Hafiz. We have just finished the first set in Maples, where your women's volleyball team, the Stanford women's volleyball, are taking on number 9 Washington State. It's been a good match, a close one. Unfortunately, however, that first set went the way of the Cougars.
Yeah, the Cougars just able to capitalize early on. Took an 8-point lead in that first set, and ultimately Stanford fought back towards the end, but came up a little short. Ended up a 4-point first set, 25-21 in favor of the Cougars. But encouraging play to end the set from Stanford. Certainly have the momentum going into the second set, and just a testament to what the Stanford offense can do. When you're going up against a top 10 team, giving up leads like that, it doesn't position you well to come back. But definitely encouraging from Stanford to pick it up late in that set, and the hitting percentage is much closer than they were to start the set.
Absolutely. On the box score, doesn't look too different. The same amount of errors, same amount of aces. Stanford has one more kill. Wazoo has one more block. What it comes down to is just the efficiency. Washington State hitting 464, Stanford hitting 237, and that's the big difference.
Yeah, Stanford 7 attack errors, Washington State just 2, and that's really the story of this first set. The Wazoo block was good, and Stanford just several miscues on offense.
It is now, however, a new set, and if this Cardinal team could do anything, there's certainly one of the teams that could come back from this. It's only a set down. Volleyball, we play all 5 sets for a reason. Katie Baird back to serve. Returned, that time by Isanovich. The back set to Katie Ryan, out. No hands, point Cardinal.
Yeah, great point there by the Cardinal. By the Cardinal. Katie Ryan just unable to connect on that one.
Baird back to serve. This serve, a really good one straight at Isanovich, and she can't handle it.
Yeah, a great serve there by Baird. It puts them in a tough spot, and Washington State unable to respond.
2-0 Cardinal.
Baird now back to serve. That one handled by Asanovic. A bump set from Ung coming the other way, and a tip shot there by Pia Timmer, just able to sneak it under the block, it looks like, and get the kill. An unorthodox point, but a good one there for Washington State.
Yeah, that was really creative there from Timmer. She was well below the net. The only shot was up, and she managed to roll it across the net off the block.
Basham, the libero for Washington State, now to serve. This one handled by Baird. Miner sets for Rubin near side, off the block, but she sneaks it under. That's a kill for Elia Rubin.
And there we see Rubin do to Washington State what they were doing to the Cardinal that entire first set, off the block and out.
Now Lena Ogilvy takes her spot behind the service line here for the Cardinal. And that one handled by Asanovic. Unga set to Timmer, and Timmer off the Stanford block. Kip gets up, but Timmer able to weave it off of her hands for the kill.
Yeah, that time Kendall Kip a little late. She was still going up as the swing happened, not really any chance to make a play there.
Julia Norville to serve for the Cougars. And a float serve, that's handled by Ogilvy. Miner looking for Rubin off the block, and Rubin with another kill. 2 early kills in this set for Elia Rubin.
Rubin continuing that strong run of form from this season. She's really had a breakout sophomore year.
And Kip now serving here for the Cardinal. Norville handles that one. Unga set back row for Iman Asanovic, and she finds the corner. A great swing there by Asanovic to get the kill.
Yeah, Asanovic barely finding the back line that time. That's her 7th kill on the day.
Yeah, Asanovic 7 of 12 with just 1 error in this game, hitting .500. And Timmer to serve, and mishandled there by Elia Rubin. That's a reception error as Timmer registers an ace.
And you see the frustration on Rubin's face. This was a problem for her last year. A big improvement spot here this year. Team's been going after her, and she's been returning them well, but not in that instance.
And Timmer back to serve. 4-4, goes back Rubin's way. Handled by Ogilvy, and they just have to float a free ball. Yalasheva to back to Yalasheva, and she gets the point.
And frustrating if you're a Cardinal fan. You get up to that early 4-2 lead, and just like that, you're down 1.
And Pia Timmer on the scoring run. This will be her 4th serve, and she hits it into the top of the net. A good break there for Stanford to tie it at 5 apiece.
I will say, the fact that service errors are actually led by Washington State this game, a big surprise, as coming into the game, the Cardinal had 102 more service errors on the year.
Yeah, Stanford struggling behind the service line this year, and an ace there for Elia Rubin as that one rolls over the top of the tape.
Yeah, that time it hit the white tape, stayed in the air. You thought maybe someone could have gotten to it, maybe Julia Norville. Not that time.
And Rubin back to serve for Stanford. A nice serve there by Rubin, handled by Pia Timmer. Basham sets for Asanovic off the block. That's handled by Baird. Miner looking back for Baird. And they're going to say caught fingertips. Kill for Katie Baird.
At that time, they're saying Pia Timmer, the head official, making the call. But we have to give credit to Elia Rubin. That last serve, one of the fastest serves I've ever seen on a volleyball court.
And now Stanford on a 3-0 scoring run of their own. Rubin behind the service line again, and a good serve by Rubin. Sets for Asanovic, who just floats one over. That's handled by Kip. Miner now looking for Baird off the block. Back Miner's way. A bump set coming from Ogilvy to Baird. And Baird just misses the line as that one goes into the crowd. Point, Wazoo.
Yeah, that was set up perfectly for Baird. She made the right call. She cut it cross court, and just a couple inches too long.
Yelahasheva to serve for Wazoo. That's handled by Baird. Miner goes for the dump, and that's good to go.
and you hear the roar from the crowd, not just because the Cardinals scored, but because that Cami Minor setter dump has to be one of the best ones in the country. Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah, and that's often the case when Cami Minor chooses to do it. That's why she's regarded as one of the best setters in the country. Efficient Cami Minor. Pringle checks in to serve now. That's handled by Pia Timmer. A set from Basham to Asanovic, and a strong swing there as Asanovic weaves it around the block for the kill.
And Asanovic having a fantastic game. You see the veteran savviness there. A cut shot off the very tip of the block. That's her 8th kill on the night.
And the setter Ung to serve. A float shot there. That's handled by Vicini. Minor to back row kip, and that's, they're going to say, out of bounds.
That one was close. She aimed for that back corner and just missed it. Her second attack error on the day.
So this an 8-8 match in set 2 as Ung gets set to serve once more. This time handled by Rubin. Minor with the slide play to Vicini, and that's anticipated well by Rubright and Katie Ryan in the middle.
And
just a low set, I think.
Don't forget about Asanovic there. She was the main blocker, just absolutely read it. There was nowhere for Vicini to go.
Ung serves again to Vicini. Minor handles this one, goes the other way to Katie Baird, and Katie Baird gets it done for the kill.
And that was just a good, powerful swing from Katie Baird. There's not anything anyone in the country can do when the ball's coming at you that fast.
Minor now to serve for Stanford. That one handled by Asanovic. Ung sets behind her for Ryan off the block. Handled by Kip. Minor looking for Baird again. That's off the Wazoo block. Asanovic digs that one. Ung looking for Ryan in the back row, and a great dig there by Elena Ogilvy. A good hustle play by Minor, and Baird gets it back over to Basham. Ung sets for Asanovic this time, and a great acrobatic play by Minor. A set from Ogilvy, and Baird gets it off the block for the kill.
And a great long point there, ended with an exclamation point. Katie Baird simply too strong. She powers it through that block, and it drops. Point Cardinal.
Yeah, we had one of those long sequences in set 1. That one went Wazoo's way. This time, Stanford on top. Minor serves. That's handled by Timmer. And they're going to call an error on Washington State. Point Stanford.
They're going to call that a double hit on the set. Not something you see too frequently at this level.
Certainly. Stanford, a 3-0 scoring run as Cami Minor has been excellent from behind the service line. And this one ends in an error. It looks like I jinxed it there.
Yeah, that time looked like it was going to go close. At the very last second, Timmer steps out of the way. A good read there. The Cardinals' 3rd error on the day.
And Asanovic to serve now for the Cougars. This time handled by Rubin, and a great set there by Cami Minor. Just a tip shot there, a little miscommunication on the Cougar side, and that'll be a point for Stanford.
I don't think your call did that justice. That ball was heading straight at the net. Cami Minor back to it. One hand sets it up, and somehow the Cardinal get it to fall. What an acrobatic play.
Yeah, Cami Minor, just an excellent setter for the Stanford squad, able to make something out of nothing. And the serve there from Katie Baird goes wide left, trying to paint the sidelines. No good there for Katie Baird.
That's something we've been seeing a lot of here today. Not only the very particular serves, but normally you target a player. The Cardinal have been targeting that left sideline quite a bit.
Basham now serving for the Cougars. That time handled by Baird. Minor looking for Rubin off the block. And that's a kill for Elia Rubin.
Rubin's 6th kill of the day. The balls went her way a lot, and she's taking advantage of it.
Ogilvy serving now for Stanford. A great dig there by Hasanovic, and Timmer hits it over, handled by Kip. A bump set for Rubin, and a strong swing, but handled by Basham, and a set there for Hasanovic, who puts so much power behind that ball to get the kill for Wazoo.
And a sprawling effort there from Minor, almost able to handle it. Unfortunately, though, sends it flying, point Washington State.
And a great game for Hasanovic. 9 kills on 17 swings, 471, just 1 error on the match. She's been really productive tonight. Julia Norville serving now. That's handled by Baird. Minor sets for Kip, and Kip able to catch the backside.
Kip on the line.
Now, I will be completely honest with you. That one looked just long to me. The umpire called it in, and all the Washington State players immediately make the hand signal, call for challenge. If it was in, it would have been in by a hair. This one will be interesting.
Yeah, looked out to me as well, but the back umpire has a better look at that, but everyone on that Washington State team looked surprised at that call, and immediately the Wazoo coach goes for that green challenge card. So this one will be reviewed.
This is a big call, too, because as it stands, if it remains in, the score is 14-12. If it flips, it becomes 13-13. It's a whole new set.
Yeah, exactly. This is a 2-point lead for Stanford or a tie game, and this one's been really close. Washington State hitting 385 in the second set, Stanford 375. So a really tightly played second set. Both teams hitting very well, and a really consequential call mid-set for both of these teams. But I'm sure this one will come really close no matter how this call goes. But certainly will put us in a closer one here. Just to rattle off some statistics from this second set. Like we said, 385, 375, 6 kills for Washington State, 9 from Stanford. We see that the errors remain lopsided, even more lopsided now in favor of Washington State. 10 errors on the Cardinal side to just 3 from Stanford, and we'll get the call here from the official, and the call will stand. So that one just catches the back line, and a great swing there from Kip to keep it in bounds, and a good call there by the back umpire, able to see it well.
I've always wondered what it feels like as an umpire when everyone in the crowd convinced you're wrong and then you continue to be right, even upon review.
Kip serves that one. That's time. Handled by Timmer, and a great setter dump there by catches everyone off guard. Cami Minor-esque in the surprise.
The only difference is did that one-handed setter dump. Minor usually does it with 2.
Yeah, I like that. Pia Timmer now to serve for the Cougars. That one handled by Rubin. Minor sets back row Kip, and a great solo block by Yelasheva. One of the best middle blockers in the country, and showing off there. She gets up there and tells Kip that she's up there. And a tie game now. So that call doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things, as Wazoo gets 2 straight points, and Pia Timmer back to serve. Handled again by Rubin, and a set there for Sammy Francis, who drills that ball off the hands of the libero into the crowd. Kill Stanford.
Nice to see one go that way for the Cardinal.
Peace. The serve goes to Rubin. They've been targeting her a lot. Minor sets for Baird, and Baird hits Yelahasheva in the face as she gets the kill.
She looks to be okay, though, does Yelahasheva. Ultimately, point Cardinal as they take the lead here late.
Anna Pringle checking in to serve here for the Cardinal. That one handled by Timmer. Sets back for Timmer off the block, and she catches fingertips as Timmer able to get that just over the block, but catch those fingers for the kill. Now to serve for Washington State. She hits that one to Baird. Minor sets for Kip on the near side, and a nice float shot in that campfire area from Kendall Kip. What a veteran play.
Yeah, that was so savvy. It was a little roll shot. She wound up for the big swing, rolled it over the block, and dropped it before anyone in the back row could get there. A beautiful, beautiful play.
Minor now to serve for Stanford. This time handled by Asanovic. Ung sets back for Asanovic off the block, and that's dug by Ogilvy. Minor setting for Kip, and a great one-handed dig there by Argentina Ung. Basham sets back for Asanovic, and a dig by Ogilvy. A bump set from Minor to Kip, and Kip, what a swing there for Kendall. Kip able to catch the back corner on what looked like it was going to be a free ball.
The Cardinal completely out of system. Kemi Minor sprawling almost into the bench next to us. Somehow gets a bump set up, and Kip just makes it happen.
2 strong points consecutively from Kip, and Minor serves again. Isanovic to Ung, and Katie Ryan in the middle puts that one away to put them back within 1.
Yeah, that time not much Minor could do, just a powerful swing. It really has been an impressive performance from Iman Isanovic as she hits double-digit kills. Or excuse me, that's still only 9.
Isanovic serves to Baird. Minor to Kip, and that one looked like it was done, but Wazoo comes back. Two great digs there on the Wazoo side, and who's that in the middle? Rubright wins the battle at the net to tie this at 18 apiece.
An amazing play by Ung. Is watching her after the play, she's over there saying, like, I didn't think I had that. What a just lucky play almost.
Yeah. And after that, Asanovic hits it into the top of the net. Very few service errors in this one through, 2 sets, 4 for each team.
Good serve from Katie Baird. Isanovic, dug, kept alive. Stanford a little out of sorts. They find Elia Rubin, and Rubin, no problem for her. Rubin was a big part of the offense in Pullman, the game in which Stanford played without Sammy Francis. Stanford was really a three-headed attack that night with Kip, Baird, and Rubin, spreading the ball around a little bit more here tonight. Timmer missed it wide and out of bounds. Aiming for that deep corner, and Jen Greeny will take her timeout here. We'll step aside. You're listening to Pac-12 Insider. We'll be right back. We pick things up here late in set number 2. 21 serving 18, a 3-point Stanford lead on a 3-point run. All with senior Katie Baird at the service line. The outside hitter from Indianapolis, Indiana. This one just narrowly misses the Jumbotron and is put away quickly by Washington State. Service reception nearly hit the Jumbotron here inside Maple. Quick side out. Cougars are starting out at 67.4%. Stanford just a hair below that at 65. There's Kip on the right side. Nice dig that time by Isanovic. Timmer with a look. Off speed shot. Dug in the center half of the court by Ogilvy. Ruben can't finish. Ryan's opportunity. Katie Ryan could not get that ball to fall. Washington State is convinced Argentina moved up the top with Ryan McDowell about what she saw. And Jen Green may have to grab the challenge card and will early. This is her second challenge so far. Next one was tough to see. Washington State was pretty convinced that Katie Ryan had made contact with the Cardinal blocker, while the Stanford defense, of course, they're not going to give you any inset information. They were telling the other official that it was out. But a critical call at a critical moment in set number 2. Stanford trying to even this game out at 1 set apiece, while the Cougars are looking to pull off another upset on the road and take a 2-0 lead into the third set. And coming into this one, Stanford had the second highest scoring efficiency, or hitting efficiency, I should say, in the nation. They were hitting .314 coming into this one, while Washington State wasn't far behind, hitting .284. And so far, the Cougars have hit .407 to Stanford's .297. And again, if you look at it here on replay, tough to see if any Stanford player made contact with it. Ball did not look like it changed spin a whole lot while it was rotating through the air, so we'll see how this one is called. That's usually an indicator. Does the ball's spin change? And from our angle, it did not look like it did. And again, it has to be 100% conclusive to overturn the call on the court. And that was ball out of bounds. So there must be irrefutable evidence to overturn that and award the Cougars with the point. And they are still looking at this review. This is a very big call late in set number 2. As it stands, point Stanford, 22-19. And we have the call. And the call stands, which means not confirmed. Meaning they couldn't see anything to confirm their call, but they also couldn't see anything to overturn said call on the court, which was ball out of bounds by Katie Ryan. 3-point game. 3 points away from taking the set are Stanford. And a tough serve out of the break. Timmer hammers one out of system. Taking a little frustration out on her side of the net. Remember, when these two teams met the first go-around in Pullman, the first set was 31-29. The second was 29-27. These two teams know how to play each other close. There's Kip on the right side, and she is sent back. 1 point game as Timmer and Yelahasheva team up for the Cougar block. And Stanford will quickly answer with a timeout of their own. And we'll step aside here in between breaks. You're listening to Pac-12 Volleyball on Pac-12 Insider.
to Maples, ladies and gentlemen, as we are 2.5 minutes away from the beginning of the third set. The Cardinal able to come back and take that second set 25-21 after dropping the first by the same score line. Much better set there from the Cardinal. Ronnie, what stood out to you?
Yeah, just much better attacking there from the Cardinal. Really poor in that first set. Several errors stacked up, and this time they upped their hitting percentage to 300 from 200, I believe it was. Hitting 375 in this current set, in the second set, excuse me. Ended it off on a 3-0 scoring run. Just able to get things going, and defensively, you saw much more energy, a lot more acrobatic plays from Stanford, and just less mistakes. And that was the difference at the end. They ended off on a 3-0 scoring run, and they were able to make things happen out of system as well. And so, that was the difference when you're playing a top 10 team in Washington State. Those little things matter so much more, and Stanford executed much better in that second set and was able to get it done.
Absolutely. Cardinal with 4 different players having 5 kills or more. The one that stands out to me the most, Sammy Francis, 6 kills on 7 attacks. She's hitting 857. Add that to the 2 blocks. It really has been a team effort. Looking at the stat sheet some more, Ogilvy, as you would expect, leading the way with 8 digs, but Kendall Kipp making her name known today. Defensively, 6 digs of her own, and Cami Minor with an impressive effort on that defensive side. She's got 4. When it comes to serving, 4 service errors per side. More importantly, 3 service aces for the Cardinal, 2 only for Washington State. A really good job there by the officers. You hear the crowd enjoying a little halftime entertainment from a couple little girls in the stands hitting volleyballs over. It's a fun little game here being played. 20 seconds away from that third set.
And an interesting stat, we saw the side out percentage was, there was a 15% discrepancy after the first set. The second set, they're identical to 65.2% for each team.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now this becomes a best of 3. Now Basham serving. Return by Ogilvy. That's Minor. Up to Rubin, strong off of the block. Kill Cardinal.
Yeah, a good swing there by Elia Rubin, cross court. Hits it too powerful for the defender, and that one nearly goes into the stands.
And just like that, Rubin, the first player here tonight in the double digits. There's 3 others sitting at 9 kills, so a couple more surely to join the club. Now Ogilvy back to serve. Returned by Timmer. Straight up to Yelahashova, excuse me, and she sends it straight back down.
Yeah, and a good job there by Yelahashova, the middle blocker, one of the strongest in the country, and just able to put that ball down and tie this 1-1.
The serving specialist, Julia Norville, in for the Cougars. Returned by Baird. Minor. Rubin, corner, kill.
Yeah, Rubin's just done that really well in this match. The cross corner shot on the other sideline, and every time seems like able to find the gap in the defense and put that one in bounds.
Cardinal up 2-1. Kipp serving. This serve a pretty good one, handled though by the Cougars. Now goes back to Isanovich. That ball sails wide. They say it's tipped.
Yeah, a strong swing there by Isanovich, goes long, but it looks like it caught some Stanford fingertips, and that'll put us at 2 apiece.
Yeah, it looked like for a second the Cardinal thought that was their point, but ultimately point for the Cougars. 2-2. Back to serve Timmer. Return by Baird, not a great return. Minor has to run to chase it. She sets it though to Rubin, and it ultimately doesn't matter. What a swing.
Yeah, another cross-court swing there from Rubin. Deep, powerful swing there from Elia Rubin. All 3 Stanford points coming in the same exact fashion. Elia Rubin, a hot start to this third set.
Just like that, she's up to 11 kills.
That'll be 12 now, I think, yeah.
It's the second time this game where there's been a swing, serve that's had to be stopped mid-serve. I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but someone was not ready. Now we get started, and Rubin finally allowed to serve. This serve into the net. Not too fair, throws her off, of course. I'm not making excuses, just having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, a tied game. This one starting off much like the other two sets. So we'll see how it shapes out.
Yelahasheva serving. Returned by Ogilvy. Minor. Baird straight down the line. Point Cardinal.
Yeah, really strong swing there from Baird. We saw something similar in that first set. Just missed the line by 2 inches. This time, Baird makes sure to keep it in bounds. Off the hands of Norville, who's set up there. Just too strong from Baird.
Pringle, the serving specialist for the Cardinal, back to serve. This one returned by Norville. To Isanovic. A great dig there by Pringle. Minor back row to Kip. 2 Washington State players tumble over each other, but they send a free ball over. Now Pringle with the bump set to Minor. To Baird, a little tip shot off of a block. 1, 2, and over, but way wide. Point Cardinal.
Yeah, Isanovic, a good athletic play, just hits it too long. And credit the Cardinal there for keeping the ball alive. And Katie Baird able to make a nice play on that ball despite the set not being too great. Had to adjust and puts Washington State out of system.
Served by Pringle, returned by Washington State. A little tip shot, but somehow Minor gets a hand to it. A big swing from Baird and dug out by Basham. The bump set from goes to Isanovic, and a great dig there by Pringle. Now Minor. She finds Baird off of hands, Timmer's hands in play. Timmer gets another swing, a little tip shot, but she doesn't even get it over the net. Point Cardinal.
Yeah, and credit Cami Minor on that play. The way she kept that ball alive. You know, she just makes some plays sometimes where you're scratching your head thinking, how did she just do that? And that's what kept the ball alive and allows Stanford to capitalize with the point.
Pringle, a really good serve return by Norville. To Isanovic off of the block. Point Cougars.
Yeah, Isanovic looking a little fed up with some mistakes that she made in the past. That time put so much power behind that ball, able to hit it off the block for the kill.
It's her 11th kill on the day. She's hitting .321. Now back to serve the setter. And a good read there from Rubin. That ball sails long. Point Cardinal.
Service error, point. The line to serve now on Cardinal number 2, Kaylee Minor.
Minor back to serve. Off the tape and handled by Rubright. Now the set to Isanovic, and she powers it through the block. If it's working, keep going her way, and that's what the Cougars are doing.
Yeah, Isanovic, a really powerful swing. She's been able to do that all night, to hit it off the block or away from the block, and able to get the point that time by going back to what she's done best tonight.
Now her reward is to serve. Having herself a great day. Isanovic gets ready. The serve. Returned by Baird. Minor. Back to Baird to swing. A float shot, but handled by the Cougars. Backwards to Ryan. Off the tape, and a great dig there by Minor. The bump set from Ogilvy. Up to Kip, who's returned by the Cougars. Now the swing from Timmer, handled by Ogilvy. The bump set from the back to Rubin. A tip shot. The Baird is blocked, and it goes back to the Cardinal. Now the bump set. Back to Baird and blocked once again, but that time, Point Cardinal is on the block. Rubright touches the net.
Yeah, and a good job by Stanford keeping the ball alive. And that time, Katie Baird and Cami Minor connect on several swings. Ultimately, they go up for the block and able to capitalize on a Wazoo miscue. Like that rhyme.
Yeah, I did. Wazoo miscue as Baird goes back to serve. This serve right at Basham. Now the quick set to Rubright, blocked, but it falls on the Stanford side of the court. Point Cardinal.
Yeah, Rubright redeems herself there off the error. She comes back and puts the ball down for the kill.
The libero for Washington State, Carly Basham, back to serve. Down 6-8 here in the third set. returned by Ogilvy. Now Minor, backwards to Kip, off of the block, and in. Another block for Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State block has really been strong tonight. That'll be the 7th block of the night for the Cougars to just 2 from Stanford. And it's really what's kept them, close in these past 2 sets is Stanford's out hitting Washington State.
Basham, a short serve, a great return there by Ogilvy. Now Rubin the swing, off of hands and out. Point Cardinal.
This time the Wazoo block comes up early. They get hands on it. But good for Rubin to hit that into the block and push it out of bounds as she hits it really strongly into that Wazoo block.
A 2-point lead here for the Cardinal. Ogilvy serving. This serve off the tape, a really strong serve, but somehow handled by Isanovich. Bump set from Basham and Timmer, returned by Ogilvy. Now Minor finds Rubin off of hands and dug out by Ogilvy. Minor back to Rubin, off of hands, and this time goes through but handled by Washington State. This a big swing there from Ryan, returned by Ogilvy. Minor straight up to semi-Francis and a great dig by Basham. Another set, this time to Kip, off of hands and returned by Isanovich. That's a set from Ung. Back row attack to Isanovich, and that time you can't get through the triple block of Stanford.
Yeah, an excellent play there by Stanford. The great wall of Stanford goes up there in the middle, and they put that one away. Kip, Francis, Rubin, all combined for a monster block to shut up Washington State.
And now you can hear the crowd get into it. Up 3 points in the third set, 10-7. Ogilvy serving a really good serve. Returned by Isanovich. That's the ball over. A joust at the net. Point Cardinal.
Yep. The Cardinal really swinging the momentum here. A really great serve there by Ogilvy. Creates an overpass. And Washington State, net violation. So Stanford able to set themselves up to get these points.
Ogilvy continuing her run of dominance. Another serve here for the Cardinal. Another good swing, this time just a little too low. Hits the tape and drops. Point Cougars. Cardinal now only up 3, 11-8, as back to serve is Julia Norville. This serve, a short one returned by Baird. Minor from the ground, point Washington State. They say she lifted it.
That's a rare call. You don't see it much, but nonetheless, that ball really close to the ground. It looks like Kevin Minor just put her hand under it and lifted it. So it'll be 11-9 Stanford.
Norville, another serve, another good one. This time Rubin returned. Minor straight up to Francis. 1, 2, and somehow over on 3. Now Kip goes back to Minor. Rubin, a little tip shot, and that was perfectly placed.
Yeah, you see that veteran decision making from Rubin. She sees the block go up, loads up like she's going to swing at that one, and just tips it over to catch the defender off guard, and that lands for the kill.
An inch shorter and it would have been hit by the block, an inch longer and it would have been dug out. Literally the perfect place. As Kip serves it, returned by Timmer. Ung to Yelahasheva, kill Cougars.
Yeah, Katie Baird visibly frustrated on that one. Thought she had a handle of that ball, and it just hits the tip of her fingers as she's unable to receive it.
Now serving Timmer for the Cougars. The serve, returned by Baird. That's Minor. Backwards to Francis. Kill Cardinal, number 8 for Sammy Francis.
Yeah, Sammy Francis having an excellent day. 8 of 11 in this one. Hitting .727. Just a really strong outing from her. No errors tonight.
Elia Rubin back to serve. She leads all hitters today in kills. That time she sends it way, way long. The Cardinals' 7th service error on the night.
Yeah, you could see as soon as that one left her hands, she knew it was out. Just puts way too much power behind that ball. Trying to add a little finesse, but it goes way long.
Yelahasheva back to serve for Washington State. Looks like no, they're bringing someone new in to serve instead of Yelahasheva. Number 13 here for Washington State. That will mean Emma Barbero is in to serve. This serve, a good one, handled by Rubin. Minor, back to Francis, and the return is over the net. A joust goes into the Cardinal side of the court. Now the bump set from Ogilvie. The swing from Baird. 1, 2. Oh, is she okay? The second one, that's Julia Norville, crashes into the bench, unable to handle it. She's okay. Back up, bow point Cardinal.
And Stanford taking a 3-point lead. And Anna Pringle checking in to serve for the Cardinal.
Pringle serving here for the Cardinal. Up 3, halfway through this third set. For those of you that joined late, the Cardinal lost the first set 25-21, but came back and won the second one by the same scoreline. They're up 14-11 here. And that one rolls off the tape, barely going over, goes to the Cougar side, and Isanovich is blocked. So Washington State has to deal with it again. A big swing from Timmer, and Kip somehow gets a hand to it. That is Rubin from the back row. A swing to Baird, and out. The call is out. That would have been special.
Yeah, that would have been really special. An excellent bump set from Rubin, running to the ball, puts it nicely there for Baird, and Baird just unable to position that ball to get the kill. Trying to tool the block, it looked like, but just misses a little left.
Now Argentina serving. This one a very short serve handled by Vicini. That's Minor. To Kip off the block and out. Point Cardinal.
Kip flying out of that back row on the right side and puts a lot of power behind that ball. The block goes up, but they get it out of bounds. Stanford, the first to 15 in this one. So that'll take us to immediate timeout. We're going to break here, and we'll be back for the rest of this third set.
We are back here in Maples Pavilion. Score is 15-12 Cardinal in the third set. The first two sets split 1 apiece. This is a tight battle here between the number 5 Cardinal and the number 9 Cougars as these teams battle it out here in the Pac-12. 2 of the 3 best teams, almost consensus in the Pac-12, the third being Oregon. It'll be tight between these 3 teams to see who takes that Pac-12 regular season championship.
Yeah, a win here would go a long way for Stanford to solidify themselves as that top contender.
This time the serve by Minor. Returned. To Rubright, she finds the back line.
Yeah, good swing there by Rubright on the slide, able to find the gap in the block and layers that ball across the side of the court for the kill.
Now it's Isanovich back to serve. That serve just barely long. A fantastic eye by both Rubin and Baird there. Just like that, the Cardinal back up to a lead of 3, 16-13. Baird serving. Returned by Isanovich. Ryan, and a great dig there by Minor. The bump set from Ogilvie. The swing from Kip is just a soft one, but out of system are the Cougars. Have to send a little free ball over, but it's tipped. The bump set from Rubin. Minor, back to Kip, and that's straight down.
Yeah, a missile there levied by Kendall Kip. That ball straight up, straight down. She uses her 6'5" frame to put so much power behind that ball to not even give anyone a chance on that Washington State side.
And now after back-to-back points, the Cardinal have a lead of 4. Baird, the serve, returned by Basham. Straight up to Ryan, blocked! Rubin, Vicini, that duo.
Yeah, great anticipation by the Stanford defense this time. The Stanford block, we talked about it being a little iffy in that first set. Certainly no questions here. We saw the triple block earlier in the set, and this time Vicini and Rubin get up early and anticipate the swing to put it down. A Stanford 3-0 scoring run, 5-point lead. Wazoo timeout.
And this is not what you wanted. Immediate timeout, the score was 15-12. Wazoo comes out, wins the first point, makes it a little closer, and then Stanford says, I'm having none of it. 5-point lead here for the Cardinals. Really, really important if you're trying to make a statement and take this third set. 18-13 in favor of Stanford. Now Baird back to serve. Serve returned by Isanovich. To Timmer. Kill point Cougars.
Yeah, and a good start out of the timeout. for the Cougars. They get in system there and set up a nice play there for Pia Timmer on the side to put it away for the kill.
Now Basham back to serve for Washington State. Returned by Baird. Minor. The kip. Dug out there by Washington State. The bump set, the regular set from Basham goes to Ryan. She finds hands, point Cougars.
Yeah, good job by Ryan to toll the block. That's Vicini and Rubin go up again at that one, but this time off the block and out of bounds in favor of Wazoo.
Basham here for Washington State. A really good serve return by Baird. Now Minor. Cross court to Rubin, and once again that Washington State block is a little too good.
Yeah, every time it feels like one of these teams is running away with a set, the other responds. That's exactly what's happening here in this third set. And what we saw in that second set, Stanford was up 21-18. Wazoo came back and responded, but ultimately Stanford ran away with it at the end with a 3-0 run. Washington State responding with...
I mean, to put things in perspective, the Cardinals have 15 errors. 8 of those have been that Washington State block.
Yeah, and so hasn't just been attacking. Most of it's, the majority have come from that block, and that those front three, they rotate them in and out. Rue Bright, Katie Ryan, and Magda Yelahasheva, 3 strong blockers there in the middle.
Serve returned by by Baird. Minor, a great set into Rubin off of hands, point Cardinal.
Yeah, good job to respond there by Rubin. The block goes up, Rubin hits it above the block, able to hit those fingertips, and that one sails long after it hits those Washington State players.
Point, Stanford, and there's like that. It's a 3-point lead once again. Ogilvy back to serve. Her serve into the net. Into the middle of the net. That one wasn't particularly close.
Yeah, Ogilvy goes for a lot of power there, just unable to get that ball over the net as it hits low into that net.
Norville serving for the Cougars. She's gone on a couple of serving runs here today. Return by Baird. Now Minor. Looks for Rubin off of hands, and she lets it bounce out of bounds. Point Cardinal.
Yeah, Rubin's done a good job of tooling the block today and just finding gaps in that defense. She leads all players with 16 kills so far in the match. Started off that first set with 3 errors, only 1 since. And so Rubin, a strong outing.
Kip returned by Washington State. Now the swing goes to Yelahasheva. 1-2, and over on 3, a free ball. A great job there by the Cardinal. Now goes back to Yelahasheva. That time, no magic for the Cardinal as the point goes Washington State's way.
Yeah, an unexpected person to keep it alive. Sammy Francis actually gets in there on that second touch, and Stanford able to get it over for a free ball. But Washington State sets up that in-system play to get a kill, and Baird a little too late to it with her hands.
Timmer serving for Washington State. Returned by Rubin. Now Minor. To Francis, a little tip shot. With the dig. Up goes Isanovich and over on 3. Now Minor. Back to Francis, a little slide shot. Just wide. They had it, and Francis missed it. Her first error on the day.
Yeah, great setup there from Minor to Francis on the slide. It was open. It was there. Francis just pushes that ball wide left, just trying to go for those sidelines again.
And just like that, it's a 1-point game. Timmer back to serve, 20-19. The short serve returned by Rubin. Minor, Francis, and that time she gets the kill.
They go back to the slide. Credit Minor. She trusts Francis, makes a mistake the first time, goes back to her, and this time Francis able to put the ball away for her 9th kill on the match.
Rubin back to serve, 21-19 in favor of the Cardinal. This serve returned by Timmer. Now to Isanovich, and a great dig there by Rubin. The ball goes straight up. Minor with the bump set to Baird, and returns the favor. Does Basham to swing over on 1, but blocked. The solo block by the setter, Argentina
Yeah, that play had my jaw open. You never really see that. Not the tallest player, but goes one-on-one against 6'6" Sammy Francis and shuts her down. That's exactly what you like to see from your setter, showing that she can do more than just spread that ball around.
Barbero serving for the Cougars. Returned by Ogilvy. Now Minor. Looks for Baird. Through the block. One. It looked like Norville had a shot at that, but she didn't clock it in time. Lets the ball bounce. Point Cardinal.
Yeah, exactly right. Norville didn't realize the ball was coming her way and clocked it last second and was too late to react. There, point goes Stanford's way.
Now Pringle serving for the Cardinal. It's a 2-point game here, 22-20. The serve from Pringle. A really long serve, but handled by Basham. Now the set, up to Timmer, out! Point Cardinal!
Yeah, and that one just not even close. Timmer just puts way too much behind that ball, and a timeout called by Wazoo.
23-20 here in the third set. This is a Cardinal opportunity to really take control of the game. Timeout, as Ronnie said, for Washington State. So we have about a minute and 15 seconds before play resumes. 6 p.m. But other than that, the rest of these are games that you would expect the Cardinal to win pretty handily. And so you got to take advantage of these tight, tough opponents. Now the serve. Returned by Wazoo, and there's a block. Cami Minor.
Yeah, McKenna Vicini, Cami Minor get up there and shut that attack down. We talked about blocking for the Cougars. This time Cami Minor comes up with a big play there.
A little bit of delay on the court as the ball girl forgot to give the ball to Anna Pringle. But that is settled now. 24-20 here. The Cardinal have 4 set points. Pringle, a really good serve, but dug up by Basham. The set goes to Rubright. Cardinal ball. Kip with the swing. Set 3 in favor of the Cardinal.
Yeah, a great commanding way to end the set from Stanford. 2 points out of the timeout. Didn't give Wazoo a chance to even sneak back into that one. A strong backcourt attack from Kendall Kipp in that one. And that'll end the third set. Stanford looking to close this one out in 4. We're going to take a break before we resume the call here with some fourth set action as Stanford looks to close it out at home. We'll see you back. This is KZSU Stanford, 90.1 FM. This is Washington State's chance to rebound, to try to push this one to 5. Anything can happen in the 5th set. If you're Stanford, you want to close this out and not give this top 10 team a chance to defeat you at home. And Stanford's been really strong so far in closing out sets when they're up 2-1. Let's see if they can do it here in this 4th set. They've looked really strong after that first set and wanting to keep that momentum going. Baird starts us with a serve, and that one hits the bottom of the net, almost hits the bottom tape, as Katie Baird, just not a great swing there to start the set.
As the Cougars there get this 4th set started strongly.
Norville now to serve for Washington State. That's handled by Baird. Minor sets for Rubin near side, and Basham unable to handle that one. Kill for Rubin.
It's really fascinating to me. Rubin has had as many attempts as Kendall Kipp, and she's, I don't even think, arguably been the better player here today. 17 kills, hitting .406. What a day from Rubin.
Yeah, those cross-court shots by Rubin have just been excellent today. Ogilvy serves, and a great serve there by Ogilvy. A bump set here from to Timmer. That's dug by Ogilvy. Minor sets cross court for Rubin. Rubin puts a lot of power, but the block of and Yelahasheva shut that one down to tie it to make it 2-1, excuse me, Washington State.
That is Yelahasheva's 6th block on the day. She is dangerous up there.
And this one goes back Stanford's way. That one handled by Rubin. And a tip shot there from Kip. Dug out by Washington State, who get it back to Stanford. And it sets it up for Francis in the middle. The Minor to Francis quick set. Able to get it done.
And just like that, Sammy Francis is the 5th player in double-digit kills. The 3rd Cardinal. Baird one away as well.
Kip now to serve for Stanford. That one handled by Timmer. And a bump set from middle of the court. Asanovic able to make something out of it. Out of system, and Asanovic backcourt swing gets it done.
Yeah, that's kill number 13 for Iman Asanovic. She's having herself a good day as well.
Emma Barbaro to serve now for Washington State. A float serve there, handled by Rubin, creates an overpass, and Rubin able to dig it out but goes back. Norville handles that one. To Asanovic on the tip shot, handled by Kip. Minor looking for Rubin again, cross court, and Rubin able to tool the block for the kill. Kevin Hambly visibly happy with that one.
Yeah, and that's the highs and lows of Elia Rubin right there. Not a great return at all. A great dig to follow up the overpass, and then the ball goes back her way, and she kills it.
And Rubin will now serve for the Cardinal. That's handled by Timmer. With a dump. That's read by Ogilvy. Goes back Wazoo's way. Now sets up Isanovic for the kill, and Isanovic puts it away off the block.
Just like that, Washington State up 4-3 here in the 4th set.
And now serving for the Cougars. That one handled by Rubin. Minor with Francis on the slide, and Francis off speed shoves that one down for the kill.
Yeah, and she just had all the time in the world. She got there early. The ball was placed perfectly. The block was late, and she just placed it exactly where she wanted.
And Pringle checks in to serve. A good one there from her. Sets up Ryan in the middle. The double block. Puts it back. Minor now setting up Kip, and Kip with a strong swing off 2 hands. And that'll be kill for Stanford as they extend, or as they make it a 1-point lead, excuse me.
And it's really impressive. That time, Minor, she knew exactly where Kip was going to be, didn't even have to look, sets it backwards behind her shoulder, and it worked.
And another great serve from Pringle, bump set from Basham to Isanovic, and that's blocked. Another dig by Basham goes back Stanford's way. Minor sets back for Baird, and Baird puts it in between that block for a kill. 3-0 run, Stanford.
And normally on an overpass like that, you see them take a big swing. That time, however, Baird realizes, let's settle down, set it up to Minor. Minor sends it back her way, and that was too easy.
And Pringle done an excellent job behind the service line. Timmer handles it that time, and she sets up Rubright, who's just unable to get it over the net. That'll be an attack error for the Cougars. And Washington State will call a timeout. Stanford with a 4-0 run after trailing 4-3 early on in this one. And these past 4 points, that it all starts with the serve. Anna Pringle able to catch these Cougars out of system. Hasn't set up some great plays, but Stanford able to respond nicely and capitalize on the out of system play from the Cougars.
Absolutely right. This is a big spot here for the Cardinal, up 3 in the 4th set. You're up 2-1. Don't let Washington State come back in, and we know how good they can be at number 19 in the country. We also know right now they're reeling a little bit. 3 losses in their last 4 matches. Capitalize on that, make your resume look that much stronger, and take advantage of this really rare struggles from this Washington State team.
Yeah, we talked about how good Washington State was attacking early on in this match. They've drifted since then. I mean, still a strong 280 on the match, but in this set, certainly Stanford the upper hand, hitting 556 to a measly 100 from the Cougars. So Stanford definitely capitalizing. Cami Minor a big part of spreading that ball, and Anna Pringle leading a 4-0 scoring run. And we'll be back underway here out of the timeout. Anna Pringle still serving here for the Cardinals. 7-4 lead. Can she keep this run going? And a good serve there, handled by Asanovic. A set back for Asanovic, that's blocked, goes back the Cougars' way. A set from to Asanovic, and that's blocked! Cami Minor, McKenna Vicini. Not the first time we see them combine for a block in this one. And it'll be a 5-0 Stanford scoring run.
And that was a cross-court block. It went straight down, basically hugging the net. Nothing Washington State could do about that one.
Pringle serving once more. Been targeting Timmer recently. Goes to Asanovic. That's dug by Rubin. Minor sets for Kip in the back row, and Kip just hits that one a little long. On the other side of the country, Nebraska and Penn State tied 2 apiece going into set 5. It'll be a close one there. That's one to watch out for, as Nebraska, the #1 team in the country now, after taking down Wisconsin in a 5-setter not too long ago. Asanovic serves. That's handled by Baird. Minor goes for the dump, and oh, how beautiful that is. Minor always surprises everyone on the court with that. And she's just been excellent this game. Cami Minor puts this lead back to 4. That 5th set, Nebraska and Penn State, the 1-16 matchup just starting. Penn State leading 1-0 early in set 5. Cami Minor to serve now for the Cardinal. That's handled by Asanovic. Setting for Ryan on the other side, and blocked. Katie Baird and McKenna Vicini combined for that one. And the Stanford block certainly making its presence known in this 4th set.
We're talking about matchups across the country. Number 3 Louisville losing to number 10 Georgia Tech. That'll be great for Cardinal fans. And also number 6 Pittsburgh losing to unranked Florida State. Cardinal could certainly be moving up in the rankings.
This point goes to Washington State after a Stanford block. Goes back Washington State's way, and Katie Ryan able to get it on the overpass to cut it to 4. A 6-1 scoring run for the Cardinal. Carly Basham now serving for Washington State. A float serve, a diving dig by Rubin. Sets it up for Baird. Is Minor on the other side, and Baird just pushes that one to an open gap in the defense, and she gets the kill.
And just like that, Baird is the Cardinals' 4th player to hit 11 kills, a big, big number.
And Baird now serving. Already 1 ace on the day, and that time she hits an error. That'll be number 10 on the day for Stanford, to just 6 for Washington State. 11-7 in this one so far. Norville now serving for Washington State. That's handled by Baird. A bump set coming from Kip, and Rubin just has to. Rubin was going to float a free ball over. It just hits it straight into the net. And she didn't get enough height on that ball. 11-8 Stanford.
Like I said earlier, it's just with Elia Rubin, you get a lot of highs and you get some really strange lows. That should have been a typical free ball over. Instead, mishits it into the net.
And Norville serving again. Handled by Baird, and a quick set to Vicini. Just not the best swing on that. and Timmer swings. They're calling for a touch, and they get it. The Stanford squad saying no touch.
That was one of the most rare touch calls I've ever seen, because both umpires looked at each other for a solid 5 seconds. Neither of them said anything, and then the touch call was made. Normally you would think that if neither umpire knows, they would go with no touch, but ultimately Kevin Hambley's going to challenge it.
Yeah, the Wazoo team jumping up and down saying there's a touch. And both times we've seen the Wazoo team be confident about a call. It's stood essentially and against Wazoo, so they've lost both of their challenges. This time, luckily, they get the call. Stanford has to use its challenge, and if you're staying with us, Nebraska now 4-1 over Penn State on a 4-0 scoring run in the 5th set, and so that's one to watch out for as the Huskers try to close it out in 5. Ref reviewing this one will get the call shortly, but both teams seem pretty confident about the touch or no touch. And so we'll see what the call is here shortly. A big call coming here. This is a 4-point game, 12-8 in Stanford's favor if it's overturned, 11-9 in Stanford's favor if it stands. So a much closer game. And so a really big call for Wazoo coming up.
Normally we tend to have a little bit of an idea. If you would have asked me, I would have said that was no touch in favor of the Cardinal, but we'll see as we get a call here. And the call is being reversed. No touch, point Cardinal. And you see Pia Timmer there, mouth wide open. She's absolutely shocked by that call, but point Cardinal.
And Ogilvy serves that time, and she serves it into the middle of the net. Second time we've seen it this set, excuse me. And a good break there for Washington State. Pia Timmer now to serve for the Cougars. Handled by Rubin. Miner sets for Kip on the near side, dug by Basham. Ung sets for Asanovic, who just pushes one far. Miner now sets up Rubin off the block, goes back Stanford's way. A bump set from Ogilvy to Rubin off the block. Norville handles this one, creates an overpass, and Stanford wins. That's Sammy Francis overpowering the Washington State defender.
That was the rare 2-on-1 joust at the net. Normally it's 1-on-1, but that time Francis and Rubin able to overpower Ung.
Kendall Kipp now to serve. And a great serve there. That one just over the net, finds that campfire area, and an ace for Kendall Kipp, one of the best servers in the country.
And that's one of those rare aces where it doesn't go off hands, it doesn't hit a line. Instead, it just finds the middle of the court and dives down.
Stanford a 5-point lead, a commanding start to this 4th set. Stanford looking to run away with this one. Kip now to serve. That's handled by Timmer. Ung sets up Asanovic off the Stanford block, and Asanovic gets it to go as she hits those fingertips.
And if you're a Cougar fan, you need to capitalize on this momentum right now. Down 4 in the 4th set. They need to find something here.
And they're wiping down the floors here, so a little bit of a delay. And we're ready to get back underway. Emma Barbaro to serve for the Cougars. That one handled by Rubin. Miner goes for the dump, and a great read by Norville to keep it alive. Barbaro. Isanovich blocked. Cami Miner and Sammy Francis combined for the block.
And that is Francis's 5th block on the day, as the blocks have really started mounting up this set. 9 total for the Cardinal.
Yeah, these blocks, once a big discrepancy, now even actually at 10 apiece. As Stanford 15-10 in this one. Rubin to serve. That's handled by Basham. Ung sets for Timmer. And it goes back Stanford's way. They have to float a free ball over. Norville handles that one. Ung sets up Isanovich. Blocked. Goes back to Norville. Ung Isanovich again. And this time she weaves it in between that block for the kill.
And Isanovich has been having a great game. Maybe not a great 4th set, but they kept going her way there right in that instance, and it worked.
Certainly. And Ung now with a float serve. Handled by Baird. Miner to Kip in the back row, and Kip delivers. She catches that sideline on a strong swing. A veteran play by Kendall Kip as she notches her 14th kill of the match.
Kendall Kip saw the double block in front of her, and she said, I'm just going to go around it. A nice little cut shot there.
Anna Pringle checks in to serve, and that one floats long as the Cougars catch a break. A 4-point lead remains for Stanford, as Washington State needs to get something going if they want to keep this competitive.
Isanovich goes back to serve here.
And that's handled by Baird. Miner sets up Kip, and Kip just hits that one long. Looks like she was trying to catch some fingers, but good there from Washington State to lay off. And Isanovich back to serve as they cut this lead to 3. And Isanovich goes back towards Baird, an overpass, and Kip handles that one, a bump set from Rubin, and Baird hits it right into a double block. That's Rubright and Katie Ryan, who make this a 2-point game. Timeout. Timeout, Washington State.
Yeah, that time the Cardinal just out of system. Everyone knew where the ball was going and made it a little too easy there. Gave the block time to set up. Not only time to set up, time to get up. And just like that, point Washington State.
Yeah, this one much closer now. You know, Stanford, a 16-10 lead just moments ago, or 16-11 lead, excuse me. Now 16-14. And so, like we talked about, the leads in this game haven't, held up for too long. It's often one team going on a run, answered by another run from the other team. And so, Washington State desperate to stay alive in this one. Stanford needing to play some more disciplined volleyball coming out of the timeout if they want to close this one out in 4 against a battle-tested Washington State team that's, looking to force 5 sets. Looking at the statistics in this set, Stanford hitting 190, the Cougars hitting negative 040, and so a big discrepancy there. Neither team hitting particularly well, but so many errors from both sides, and that's been the storyline so far. Stanford team back out on the court out of the timeout, and Washington State making their way out as they're coming out of this timeout fired up with the momentum, looking to keep it going. Isanovich has been serving on this 3-0 run, and she has been the leader of this Cougar squad in this one. 16 kills, 6 digs for Isanovich. Can she keep the service run going? And a good serve from Isanovich, handled by Rubin, and a quick set to Vicini. And Stanford able and not able to get it over. They push them out of system. Kevin Hambley quickly pulling out a challenge card.
And the challenge card might be for the serve. I thought she stepped on the black line on the serve.
I thought so too, but I didn't hear a call from the ref, so I assumed I was just seeing it wrong. But I think Kevin Hambley saw it the way we did.
Indeed, that is the challenge. Looked like that time she stepped on the line. You, of course, have to be behind the line. They played out the point. Washington State wins the point, so why not use a challenge? Because if you get this right, it becomes a 3-point game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a big call here. Stanford, wants to make this a 3-point game, like you said, and if they do, makes it that much easier to close it out. If you only have a 1-point lead against a Washington State team, that doesn't give you enough comfort moving forward, because like we said, both these teams have been able to go on runs. If this stands, Washington State on a 4-0 run of their own, and so none of these teams are ever out of it. If you're keeping track of that Nebraska-Penn State matchup, Nebraska now leading 8-4 in the 5th set, and so that'll be one to monitor moving forward as this one progresses as well. The line judge looking closely at this one. Doesn't seem to be as apparent as maybe Kevin Hambley thought initially. And so we'll see what the call is here shortly. A big one coming up. Nonetheless, both teams showing a lot of heart in this match. And just trading blows. 4-0 scoring run one way, 4-0 scoring run another way, and then just trading points consistently. Give credit. And this is certainly what you expect to see from two top 10 teams in the country. In this Pac-12, a really strong conference this year with so many teams looking to make the tournament. So the call will stand. Washington State with the point as Kevin Hambley loses that challenge. And this is a 1-point game. So anyone's match. Amanda Sonovich, great behind the service line so far in this scoring run. And a big service error there. If you're Washington State, you love to see that. Yella Hasheva checking back in. Carly Basham now to serve. If you're Washington State now, you got to limit the mistakes, and you got to limit the Stanford offense if you want to stay in this one. Got to go on some type of run. Basham serves. That's handled by Rubin. Minor sets for Kip, and not a great set there. Katie Ryan handles it. Quick set to Yella Hasheva, who puts it away for the kill. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-point game again.
And Yella Hasheva that time just gets over the Stanford block a little bit earlier, and it would have been tough.
Basham now serving again, and that's going to be an ace as that just rolls on the top of the tape. It'll be an ace for Washington State. A lucky bounce there for Carly Basham. And like we said, they needed a run. They go on a 3-0 scoring run to put this within one. A really close match once more.
Cardinal need to stop the bleeding here.
Minor to Baird. Off the block, goes back Stanford's way. That's dug out by Kip. And this time goes back for Baird. And Baird puts it away, keeps it in bounds with the cross-court swing to hit the sideline.
As you mentioned, that time she found the line perfectly placed. A great swing there by Baird.
And Baird will now serve for the Cardinal. The veteran, Katie Baird. What can she do here? That's handled by Timmer. Quick set to Yella Hasheva. Great dig there by Cami Minor. A bump set from Ogilvy to Kip. And a bad reception there. That's Logan Golden, who checked in recently. And Kip registers the kill. Washington State needs to take timeout.
The irony of that situation is the person who made the error defensively, Logan Golden, was subbed in for Amanda Sanovic because she made an error defensively. They bring in the defensive specialist, but ultimately an error by her.
Yeah, looked like she just didn't pay attention too much to that ball, was caught up in trying to get to it, and her hands just unable to get under it as it hits her hands and hits the ground. Stanford respond with 2 points of their own. Like we said, this game has been back and forth, and you can expect this Washington State team to come out of this timeout with an intensity, an aggression to try to level the playing field. Stanford 4 points away from closing it out in 4. They dropped that first set, and if they're able to close this one out, that'll be 3 straight sets. Same as what we saw in Pullman a few weeks ago when Stanford won in 4 sets. It'll be excellent if they can do it here. Both teams already back out on the court. 20 seconds left out of this timeout, and they're both ready to go. This matchup certainly lived up to the hype.
Close one here today. You look at the first 2 sets, 25-21, the third set 25-20. Certainly not, the score doesn't reflect how close this entire match has been.
Of course. It's been a game of runs back and forth, and that's why the score hasn't really reflected that, because one team has always ended off with one of those runs. Katie Baird serving now again. That's handled by Golden. Setting for Timmer. That's dug by Ogilvy. Minor now looking for Rubin. Rubin off the block. Golden digs that one. Looking for Katie Ryan off the block, goes back Washington State's way. Basham handles that one. Now looking for Timmer. And an acrobatic play there by Ogilvy, but unable to get to it as Washington State puts away the point to cut it to 2.
Yeah, long contested rally there, going back and forth and back and forth. Ultimately, though, Cougar ball.
And Julia Norville now to serve. And that's handled by Baird. A bump set from Minor to Rubin, and Rubin just misses the mark. A little long from Rubin, and just like that, like we talked about, this has been a game of runs. And I'll keep repeating it. This is a 1-point match now, as Washington State looking to force a 5th set. Julia Norville serving again. This time handled again by Baird. A quick set to Vicini, and that's good to go. McKenna Vicini with a much-needed point as Stanford puts themselves back up 2.
Vicini was up there before Minor even got the ball. You called it a quick set. That's one of the slower quick sets we've seen, but it doesn't matter. It still gets the job done, point Cardinal.
Ogilvy now serving for Stanford. And floated there. Norville handles that one. Sets for Timmer with a tip shot. And a great one there.
And this is where that challenge or lack of challenges for Wazoo comes into play. It's called out, called no tip. I think both of those are being contested by Washington State, but ultimately you can't challenge it. So point Cardinal.
Exactly. And that's where those 2 challenges, like you said, Ferris, burn you. They need to push it to that 5th set if they want to get one more. But that's going to be a huge point to look back on, especially if Stanford's able to close it out in a close fashion. Ogilvy now serving as Kevin Hambley talks to Sammy Francis on the side. And they're wiping down the floor, so a little bit of a delay, but looks like we're all ready to get back underway. And Ogilvy will now serve. That's floated. Norville handles that one. Goes for the setter dump. That's dug by Minor. And a set here creates an overpass. Kip pushes it away. Norville handles that one. And a tip shot there by Yella Hasheva. Goes back Washington State's way. And this time, Timmer hits it back, and that hits the antenna on the block from Stanford. Point, Washington State.
Yeah, that was very interesting. It looked like it went off both blockers, hit the net, and hit the antenna. Hit a bunch of stuff all at once, but ultimately, point, Washington State.
A 2-point match. Pia Timmer now to serve. That's handled by Rubin. Minor to Kip. And Kip gets it through the block to set up match point for the Cardinal. What a kill by Kendall Kipp.
Simply too strong. It's her 16th kill on the day. Match point Cardinal.
The crowd on their feet. Kendall Kipp serving now. Can she get it done? And that hits the top of the tape. Yelahasheva handles. Ung, and that's blocked but out of bounds. And that'll be Washington State point as they stay alive for one more. 24-22. And that lost challenge, big here, because if that was overturned, this would be a tie game. Something to keep in mind. The crowd making noise here at Maples Pavilion. Everyone on their feet as Emma Barbaro gets set to serve. This time handled by Rubin. Minor. Francis, can she get it done? Handled by Washington State. Dug by Barbaro. Ung sets for Timmer. And they call that inbounds. Washington State within one. Kevin Hambley calls timeout. 2 big points for the Cougars coming there as they stay alive in this one. Stanford one more opportunity to close it out before this becomes a win by 2 type situation.
Absolutely. This is nervous territory. If you are a fan of the Cardinal, just get the job done here coming out of the timeout. Don't put yourself in a situation where you need to maybe risk a 5th set. It's not worth it. The Cardinal certainly have the tools to get it done, but 1 point right here to take it. Let's get it done.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Kevin Hambley, you're telling your team, get in system, set up a good play, and get it done. On the other side of the country, 13-13 now. Nebraska-Penn State in set 5. It was once 8-4 last time we checked in, but now a tie game there. And so that's one to really watch out for. The number 1 team in the country, Nebraska, could be upset, and they make it 14-13 just now. A similar situation here as Stanford just up 1, trying to hold on and not force a 5th set. 15 seconds here. The Cardinal already back on the court. The Cougars desperate to force this into extra points in the 4th set and give them a chance to get to that 5th set. Match point, the 3rd match point coming up for Stanford. Emma Barbaro to serve for the Cougars. The crowd on its feet. Can Stanford get it done here? Barbaro serves. That's handled by Baird. Minor sets for Francis, and that gets it done. Stanford in 4. A great job there by Stanford to close it out on the slide play from Sammy Francis.
And it's poetic. The slide play's been working all day. Sammy Francis leading the team in hitting percentage. Her 12th kill gets the job done. And just like that, the Cardinal win both games of the season series in 4 sets. It's a statement made.
Yeah, this one closed out in 4. Stanford, a really strong performance. Looked a little shaky in that 1st set, but was able to bounce back. And every set after, though it was played close, Stanford made the crucial plays to get it done and come out victorious here at home. A slip here for Washington State, their 4th loss in their past 5 games. And Stanford, a decisive victory in the Pac-12, an important one to keep their season strong. Only 1 loss in Pac-12 play so far this season against Arizona State. And it really sort of puts them on top in Pac-12 for seeding.
As the Cardinal team celebrates, having a little dance party as they do after every home win. And we see in front of us the Cougar team stretching out. Always important to cool down after those matches. A big win here for the Cardinal. As they look, this continues. This keeps them at the top of the Pac-12, more importantly than anything, and ensures that if they're able to take care of the Ducks and the rest of the games go as planned, they will be atop the Pac-12 a great sign if you're a fan of the Cardinal.
So no post-game interview here today, but nonetheless an excellent victory here for the Cardinal, able to come back after that shaky first set like we mentioned and take 3 straight to win it here on the farm. Big performer of the day, Elia Rubin. You know, she had her ups, she had her downs, but Elia Rubin, 18 kills on 39 attempts and an ace, 6 digs and 4 blocks. We talked about that Washington State block early on. Stanford able to equalize, only 12-11 to end this one. And, you know, just across the board, outplayed Washington State in those final few sets.
You're absolutely right. I have to agree with you in terms of the player of the game. Elia Rubin, absolutely amazing. You look at how spread out this offense was, though. 12 kills to Francis, 13 to Baird, 16 to Kip, 18 to Rubin. How spread out the defense was. 15 digs to Ogilvy, 10 to Minor, 9 to Kip, and then 6 to Rubin and Baird, and then even the blocks. Vicini had 6 blocks. Francis had 5. Minor and Rubin had 4. Baird had 3. This was the definition of a team effort, and they really needed it here tonight.
Exactly. You know, the Stanford squad had so many weapons, and, you know, that's what makes them so dangerous, because at any one time, so many of these players can get hot and can provide support for this team. You got production coming from Cammie Minor, from Kendall Kipp, from Elia Rubin, from Katie Baird. Now Sammy Francis looking, you know, her best form, at least that I've seen her here in her time at Stanford. And so that's really good to have a veteran squad in Stanford. They're battle tested and looking really good heading into this final stretch of the season. With that, we want to thank our listeners today. We want to thank Stanford Athletics, our sports information director for women's volleyball, Regina. I want to thank everyone at home, all those who support and donate to KZSU, Chief Engineer Mark Lawrence, Assistant Chief Engineer Jack Wong, and all of you at home who were able to listen to this broadcast, and most importantly, Ferris, for a great call. We haven't done one since last year, and so this was good to get it back under our feet. We'll, you know, have some more calls hopefully in the postseason. But we thank you for your listening today, and we hope you can tune in next time for Stanford Volleyball. We'll see you soon.